Welcome back to Chehalis as we put a wrap on this one. Final score, WF West knocks off Evergreen 38-28. I am Matthew King, and it is now time for the Alderson's Awards West post-game show. For trophies, awards, t-shirts, and so much more, go to aldersons.net for their full catalog. I am Matthew King here at Bearcat Stadium. For those watching live or on demand, or if you're watching this post-game show in the recap section on the Eli Sports Network, here's what went down. It was back and forth in the first half, really evenly matched from both sides. 3 big fumbles by the Bearcats on offense really let Evergreen hang around and even take the lead there in the first half. Had a little bit of trouble getting anything going on offense for Evergreen. Early in the first half, they were able to finally find their rhythm in this one. It would eventually, though, the momentum would swing back for the Bearcats. Gavin Fugate really started feeling it through the air. Unfortunately, they'd have to settle for a even score at halftime. It was 21-21 at the half. Then, in the second half, WF West, their defense really stepped up, made some plays. Their offense had some long, grueling drives. After that first drive, Gage Brumfield, a great kickoff return, set the Bearcats up in phenomenal field position. He'd end up hauling in a 10-yard touchdown to give the Bearcats that 28-21 lead. Then a costly fumble by Kyle Norton gave the Bearcats back the football. They'd be able to march down the field, and it would end in a touchdown run from 4 yards out for Jacob Fuller. That made it 35-21. They would tack on a field goal to make it 38-21. Evergreen would be able to march down the field, and Jonathan Landry would punch one in from 13 yards out to make it 38-28. The Bearcats recovered the onside kick and would be able to kill the rest of the clock in this one to walk away with the 38-28 victory here tonight in Chehalis. Some final stats for you first for Evergreen. Starting quarterback Jaden Crace finishes 7-14, 104 yards with a touchdown. Also added 12 rushing yards. Kyle Norton, 20 carries for 175 yards and a touchdown. Jonathan Landry, 44 yards receiving, 43 rushing yards, 3 total touchdowns in this one for the Evergreen Plainsmen. Just struggled moving the ball through the air, really, and that allowed the Bearcats to eventually start loading up the box, making things harder and harder for the run game to get going. Kyle Norton could only do so much. He was getting gas playing on offense and defense. A good job by the Bearcats to really finally slow him down in the second half, really tire him out, and then the offense just started to wear down this Evergreen defense. That's all the Bearcats needed was that one turnover, get up by 2 scores, and then the Evergreen defense was just gassed and could not answer the Bearcats' scores in the second half. For the Bearcats' final stats, Gavin Fugate, 9-14, 167 yards through the air with 3 touchdowns. He also had 11 carries for 72 yards and a touchdown. Jacob Fuller finishes with 21 carries, 193 yards and a touchdown. Logan Moore, 3 catches for 47 yards. Cameron Amoroso, 4 catches for 83 yards and a touchdown. Charlie Maloney, 1 catch for 37 yards. It was a touchdown. Gage Brumfield, 1 catch for 10 yards. It was a touchdown. Also, a couple of fantastic kick returns by Brumfield in this one, really showing his speed. Just a freshman. He is going to be an offensive weapon for years to come for the Bearcats. That is for sure. We're now going to get to our players of the game. First, our home team player of the game, brought to you by Thorbeck's Wellness Center in Chehalis, Centralia, and South Bend. Thorbeck, strong today, stronger tomorrow, strongest together. Check them out at thorbecks.com. A really tough decision in this one. Both Gavin Fugate and Jacob Fuller had phenomenal performances. Gonna have to give the slight edge to Gavin Fugate, though, because of his defense as well. You could give it to either of them. Both of them really set each other up, but Fugate, again, 3 touchdowns through the air, 1 on the ground, plus the defense he was having out there. Give him the slight edge. Again, Jacob Fuller, an incredible performance, especially there in the second half with 14 carries and really kind of put this one to bed. So you could go either way. We're going to give the slight edge to the quarterback, Gavin Fugate, here tonight. A fantastic performance from him. Now our visiting team player of the game, brought to you by Pacific Sports Spa in Chehalis. Pacific Sports Spa can get you back in the game in a hurry and is a leader in rapid recovery and can get you prepared to hit the field. Check them out at pacificsportsspa.com. For the Evergreen Plainsmen, a little bit of an easier call here tonight. Going to have to go with Kyle Norton. 20 carries, 175 yards, and a touchdown. There's no question he would have hit 200 yards if he wouldn't have just been gassed there late in the third quarter. Started running out of energy, playing defense as well. So a tough performance from him. A lot of hard-earned yards. Really did a great job in the open field. You had to have multiple guys there to bring him down. Otherwise, he was just going to spin out of a tackle or run you over and gain those extra yards. So a great performance from Kyle Norton. He is the Pacific Sports Spa Players of the Game. Congratulations to him and Gavin Fugate. Next up for Evergreen, they will head home to host Battleground next Friday. They'll look to get back on track against the Tigers in that one. Interesting showdown with the 4A Greater St. Helens squad from Battleground. Meanwhile, for the WF West Bearcats, massive showdown next Friday as they visit Tumwater to take on the Thunderbirds. The winner of that game will set themselves up for a potential league championship. The Thunderbirds coming off an overtime loss tonight, so they will be looking to get back in the win column against the Bearcats next week. That game will be right here on the Eli and NFHS Sports Network. Josh Kaiser and Keith Clark will be on the call in Tumwater for that one, so keep your eyes peeled there. That will do it for this edition of High School Sports on the Eli and NFHS Sports Network. Be sure to check us out on Twitter at YourESN for schedule updates as well as live scoring updates on games we are currently covering. A lot of changes this season, so make sure you're following us. Again, that is at YourESN. I am Matthew King. That is going to do it for this edition of Friday Night Lights on the Eli and NFHS Sports Network. Again, the WF West Bearcats walk away with the win tonight, 38-28, defeating the Evergreen Plainsmen. I am Matthew King signing off. Have yourselves a great night. We hope to see you down the road for more high school sports on the Eli and NFHS Sports Networks. Good night.